Peace to the family.
Peace to the family.
Yeah.
Peace to the family.
All right.
How everybody doing?
Spirit is strong, definitely strong.
Yeah, welcome to Bonded by the Blade. We got an excellent show for everybody tonight. I hope y'all can hear us correctly and clearly. Power Pack Show. I'm one of the hosts, Brother Sundiata, the People's Barber. You know, we giving you a live and direct aspect and perspective from the barbershop, how we do it in the shop. You know what I mean? How we talk and how we share and exchange ideas and you know what I mean, differences of opinion. So we like to welcome everybody into our world. So me and Brother Jabbar, we're just two barbers that want to share this platform and share the information and start the conversation of what we talk about in our communities and also bring solution and healing to those issues as well. So we like to thank everybody once again to this beautiful day. And my co-host, Brother Jabbar, bless him up, King.
Yeah, peace to the family, man. We just glad to be here. Reality speaks, information plus black power breaks the chains. But we bonded by the blade, and the way we talk about this is that, you know, I mean, we got certain creed that we live by. You know, I mean, we barbers, and we want to bring the barbershop floor to social media because, man, we have some deep conversations, some very healing conversations, and we do a lot of healing work there in the barbershop. You know, and I know it's been reduced to, you know I mean, places where people come and hide drugs and sell drugs and all those different things, you know what I mean, that the barbershop has been reduced to, but all to the core of it is spiritual, you know, a spiritual healing place, almost like a temple, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we do, you know what I mean? That's the spiritual work that we've been doing in the community for years, you know what I mean? So it's bonded by the blade, you know, more than just putting hair on the floor, but we take care of your head inside and out. You feel what I'm saying? You come to us, you get that spiritual experience. You know what I mean? We talking over top of people's heads, and you know what I mean. It's all about us. It's a ministry at the end of the day.
That's so right.
We all about that, and that's why we do Bonded by the Blade. Not just that, and to show the unity that we have in our community. You know what I mean? To show how we come together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, me and this brother, we started off Conscious Heads Barbershop together. You know, man, as a team. I met this brother in the 7th grade, and we represent that whole full circle thing because, you know what I mean, we brothers that had a fallout, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, we came back together to continue our great works that we actually doing in the community. So we say, you know what I mean, one thing that kept us bonded, you know what I mean, was that blade, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And kept us together. So we want all of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like we this is about healing too. So this is about, if you got beefs out there, we encourage that. We encourage people to heal any beefs that you got going on with your brothers, your sisters, whoever it may be, you know what I mean, your lovers, or whoever it may be, you know what I'm saying? If it can be healed, you know what I'm saying, get together and heal those different beefs, because some of it ain't even really no real beef. It's just difference of opinions, you know what I mean? There's levels to it, but some of it was a difference of opinion and ain't nothing really happened, you know what I mean? It's just y'all just had some differences. So we encourage y'all to come on. So that's what the whole Bonded by the Blade mission is, and that's what we carrying out. We want to talk a little bit about the you know, we come together. We doing that conscious reflection. Y'all know, anybody listening, that we about to open up a barbershop over West Side. And y'all know when we open up shops or whatever we do, that means what? That means more jobs.
More
jobs in the community. Not just more jobs, but that's more services that we'll be giving to the community. We're gonna be cutting free heads by the thousands. You feel what I'm saying? In our community, for people who can't afford to do for themselves, we're gonna be helping out in the community doing that. So whenever we open up anything, it's about not just us, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, they making money, they doing this and doing that, but it's about us being able to do more and get more selfless service in our community, create more jobs, and gain more power in our community. So that's what we're doing. So we want y'all see the links at the bottom, man. You know what I'm saying? We want to see if we can raise, you know what I mean, some funds here tonight. You know what I'm saying? Just drop it in the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's going towards a great cause. We're building more jobs. We're doing that. So y'all can Cash App. Want to see that ringer going off. We're going to be the first person to actually drop it in there. We got the PayPal links that's set up in there. So let's go ahead, man. Let's build. The barbershop floor is here. We in y'all living room. You know what I mean? We in your screens here today. You know what I'm saying? We want y'all to I might even let some people come on in here and put the link up so some other people can come in after a while after we get into the topic. You know what I'm saying? You know, but right now we want to see your comments. You know what I mean? We want to see y'all talk. So anybody, you want to say something else before we get started?
Yeah, man. I just like to add on that, you know what I mean? We got a great campaign going on. We like everybody to get involved, man. We're trying to do this collective fundraiser, man, for this new shop, man. We're trying to provide more jobs. We're trying to train more people as well. You know what I mean? We got to control our destiny by giving people what we mastered. You know what I mean? We mastered the art of cutting hair and also teaching it as well. So we want to extend that hand to the community and to people who want to learn a skill and want to work with their hands. You know what I mean? Because working with your hands is the gateway to everything for me. That's what it's been for me, and I appreciate it. And I like to share this great skill with a lot of people. So you know what I mean? Get on the campaign, spread the word, tap into what we're doing. You know what I mean? With our barbershops, you know. Reflection Eternal and Conscious Heads coming together with a great collaboration. We are two unique shops in the whole country, not just in Baltimore, but we two unique shops in the whole country. And anybody who's been in our shops will tell you that. You know what I mean? People that come in town to visit or what have you say, they love Conscious Heads, they love the vibe, they love the intellectual property that they possess, they love the perspectives, they love the different feel as well. And they say the same thing as Reflection Eternal as well. So you know what I mean? I just like to add that on, but I'm thankful for the guests that we have this evening. We have Brother Troy Stanton, who's a powerful pioneer in this barbering community in Baltimore. You know what I mean? Who's doing great things, and we would like to welcome that brother to the show today. Clap it up for good brother Troy Stanton, man. Welcome to the show. And we also got brother Carlos Muhammad, who's a pioneer also in the community, a teacher. You know what I mean, a facilitator, and just a brother who's filled in with a lot of knowledge and who did a lot of studying, did a lot of work as well. You know what I mean? He put his study to use. You know what I mean? So we thank that brother Carlos Muhammad for joining us as well this evening. Let's clap it up for that good brother as well. You know what I mean? Thank y'all, brothers.
Right. No doubt. We got brother Troy in here. You know what I'm saying? So this segment right here, we like to call Blade Talk. And Blade Talk is when we bring on other barbers that's doing great things in the community to talk about what they're actually doing. This brother has been doing some monumental things, you know what I mean, bringing the barbers together. We come together with brother Troy, and he has the More Than a Shop. You know what I'm saying? We happen to be a part of the More Than a Shop. You know what I mean? And this brother, you know what I mean, if you tell us, I want to bring him on today because, you know, in Baltimore and all over the country, but I'm going to just say about Baltimore, there's been a lot of violence that's going on within the barbershops. And for those that don't know, there was a shooting the other day, you know what I'm saying, where, 3 people were actually killed. And this was in like 3 different places, whatever. Brother Troy probably knows the story a lot better than I do. And I don't know exactly what happened, you know what I mean, in an incident. But the other thing about brother Troy is that he was actually, you know what I mean, the victim of a shooting inside the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? So people know him for, you know, what he went through, and actually maybe he'll speak on that, you know what I mean, those different things. But he's a survivor of that. You know what I mean? So for the monumental work that he's doing, and you know what I'm saying, and what he's been through, we want him to, you know, come on and drop a few words to our audience right now and say what it is. But let's introduce, like, again, as Brother Sunyata said, Brother Troy Stanton, you know what I mean? You know, big round of applause. And look, bro, you know what I mean? So we bring you on. So how you feeling today?
Tonight? I'm good. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
We hear you well.
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
All right.
So can you speak to, I guess, first, you know, your incident and what happened, you know, with you?
So, 2018, you know, it was Halloween, and where my barbershop was at that particular time was by Highlands Market. So, you know, with that, you know what we do in our community. So it's Halloween, you know what I mean? I wanna provide something safe for the kids as far as candy. So, you know, what's them big trash cans that the city gave out? What was they on that one? 40, 60 gallon trash cans. So, you know, we would go ahead and we would save a little tips and whatnot and put that aside. And then we would go out and buy candy for the kids so they could trick or treat, knowing that, you know, we was providing a safe space for the kids, safe, friendly candy, you know what I mean? No harms, no toxins, and keep them away from all the other elements. So on Halloween this particular year, right before we get ready to serve the candy to the kids, it's Halloween, a guy runs in, across the street, and he starts shooting on his way into the building.
Wow.
And everybody was like, you know, he's shooting. They was like, he's shooting. Next thing I know, I hear panic and mayhem inside the barbershop. I got the gentleman in my chair. As the gentleman is in my chair, and I realized that the shooter is in the shop. You know, I push him down to protect him, you know. So all of a sudden, the shooter, he runs out. He runs back out. So I'm doing an assessment on the shop, and I'm like, everybody all right, everybody all right. One guy said he got hit in the foot. Like, he got hit in the foot. Okay, we call it 911. Next thing I know, I stand up. I feel this warm burning in the back of my neck.
Damn.
I touch the back of my neck, and it's blood. So from that point on, I'm like, hold up, let me check and make sure. So I call myself doing a self-assessment of myself, you know what I mean? Like, am I paralyzed, moving my fingers and my toes and everything when I realized I got hit in the neck. So, the team at the shop, I convinced them because they stepped up, you know what I mean? They was like, Troy, lay down, keep yourself calm. They called 911, they came. And from that point on, y'all pretty much know what happened. All of a sudden, I'm down shock trauma, and that part is pretty still so surreal to me because I'm down shock trauma, and I'm in there, and everybody attending to me, and first thing I think is, like a barber think in Baltimore, any major city, like. So one of my clients that came to the barbershop that I, smoke cigars with, he comes in there and he's like, I'm coming to check on you, make sure you're all right. I'm like, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. He was like, the cameras at your barbershop. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, the cameras, the news media, black barbershop, Southwest Baltimore, man, they going to do what they do. You know what I mean? They're going to tear it up. But lo and behold, with individuals such as myself, you Jabbar and Cindy, we community-based. We community-based barbershops. So with that, I'm like, they're going to pick the worst person that they can find. You know what I mean? One with no teeth in their mouth, you know what I mean? Can't speak right, and I'm like, oh, man, but that wasn't the case. What happened was when the media came, like they do these days, they Googled the shop. And when they Googled the barbershop, the work had been done, had been documented without my doing. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then the reporters was like, hold up, we need they calling, and I'm like, my buddy was like, they not saying nothing bad. You know what I mean? Everything is good. I'm like, what? The media? They have something good to say about a barbershop, a black barbershop, you know what I mean? So they come in, and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, and all of a sudden the doctor come in, Dr. Scalisi from Down Shock Trauma. The gentleman come in and he like, who are you? And I tell him my name, Troy. He said, what are you? I'm like, I'm a barber. He's like, you a barber? I'm like, yeah. He's like, no, you ain't no barber. What you mean? He said, listen, when they come and get me, and they come and get me to come down here, he says, it's either major or you somebody. I'm like, what you talking about? Lo and behold, you know what I mean, from the work that I have been doing in our city, with our city, people came together and they rallied, you know what I mean? It's elected officials and everyone that I had no prior notice of how people look at and they recognize the work that's being done when you do the right thing for the right reason in our community. You get what I'm saying? And Dr. Scalisi came and whatnot. And, I was in a state of daze because when I realized that I was shot and I wasn't paralyzed, I instantly became angry. And the anger came about because it was like, my work isn't done. I could have died at this moment. You get what I'm saying? My work isn't done and I'm just getting started. You get what I'm saying? And that and hence enlightened my sense of purpose. You know what I mean? And dedication to our community. And y'all know I got with my team, because we only as healthy as the people that we surround ourselves with.
That's right.
And they was like, okay, Troy, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And reached out to somebody, and I was like, nah. The way the city came together and rallied behind me and my family, I knew that it was something greater that needed to be done. You understand? But due to the work that I had been doing in the city with the shop that I had been doing, I was like, you know what? If I can do it, it's time to step out and show the rest of brothers and sisters how we all can do it. And we all can do it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
because
sir.
A couple years prior to that, another great fellow barber was a victim of a shooting in his barbershop and the media ridiculed him. You know what I mean? And this dude was doing good things. You know, so it was like, no, I need to do this. So that's when we had the first roundup with the More Than a Shot was established in 2018. You know what I mean? We had a couple roundups at Center for Urban Families. And from there, the mission was, you know, if it can happen for me, it can happen to anybody. And why not do it in our city? You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
And at this time, me and Jabbar had started forming the relationship because we both was in a fellowship at Baltimore Corps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And my whole thing from there was I was doing my first nonprofit was the Loves Art Project, bringing art to the community and the community to the art in untraditional settings. From that moment on, that brought forth More Than a Shot. You know,
Great job.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know, I'm an art lover, and I was bringing art to the barbershop and the art to the community in untraditional settings. Due to that being stated, you know, art is one of the gateways to wealth. You know, art is one of the only things that never depreciates. They also took art out of public schools. You get what I'm saying? And the barbershop that I was in sat between three schools, an elementary school, an alternative high school, and another high school. You know what I mean? James McHenry, Vivian T. Green, and Excel Academy. And I was already working with these schools, you know what I mean, with some of the teachers and whatnot, you know, providing services for the kids in the community. In that Excel Academy, they had an art program. So with that, we was bringing up kids' art into the barbershop to display art exhibitions. Because at New Beginnings, I was also showing art, but I was showing African-American art. The same fine black artists that you see in the Reginald Lewis, Walters, James, you know what I mean, James E. Lewis at Morgan and Coppin State, and other, you know, major artists. And I was bringing in major art exhibitions the same way. We wasn't doing posters. We wasn't, you know, flyers. It was like, if we're going to do it, we need to do this right and represent and bring these black faces and these black images to these communities for these children to see.
That's right.
Later to find out that the adults knew less just as much as the children. So with that, we had a sense of pride, and the kids would come in, they'd be like, Mr. Troy, who's that? What's that? And I was also changing these exhibitions like you saw in a museum. You get what I'm saying? So when I started collaborating with these schools and the kids saw their work on a wall in the neighborhood barbershop that was theirs, because the barbershop wasn't mine, the barbershop belonged to the community. You get what I'm saying? And we hung it up, we did exhibitions, we had openings, and we had all of that. But what brought forth this greatest sense of purpose was with the More Than a Shot. You get what I'm saying? To bring forth that joint collaboration with barbers united throughout the city and the surrounding counties. You know what I mean? And
so, brother Troy, I want to ask you a quick question. Why do you think a lot of barbers in Baltimore City, in particular, and probably a lot of cities throughout the country, why do you think they be targeted of violent crimes a lot of times? You know, because in Baltimore alone, it's been like 10 cats been killed in like the last 3 years. Barbers been murdered.
You know, see, you know, two sides to that story. Like, you know, once upon a time, you know, barbers have always been a sacred spaces. But once upon a time, you know, individuals would get murdered in the barbershops. Why? Because they knew that these people, that's where you could catch them at. You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like a lot of the famous gangsters, you know what I mean? They catch them in the barber chair. That's when they would be executed. Nowadays, you know what I mean? These things that's taking place in these barbershops are on, you know what I mean? Come on, man, they violations of our neighborhood.
That's
They
right.
violations of the sacred spaces. You know what I mean? We three barbers who have spaces where it's like, you know, the individuals that's in the streets that's living a lifestyle, they might not come, but they send their most precious possession to our barbershops. Their parents, their children, their grandkids, you get what I'm saying? Because they know that it's a safe space. Nowadays, you know what I mean, we got to take back our community. we got to hold for some accountability in our community, and we can't put this on the elected officials, as far as the mayor, the police chief. No, these are people that come into our spaces that we cut their hair. You get what I'm saying? We know who they are. They know, but we got to start holding them accountable again. You get what I'm saying? Like,
That's right.
you can't be doing this. This wrong.
That's right.
Because, each and every last one of us that's a barber, we have all encountered this story where, you cut one person's hair and they talk about somebody in their family was murdered. Then a couple of hours or a few haircuts or a couple of days later, the murderer comes in your chair and tell you the crime that they done. You get what I'm saying? And now we carrying that mental stress and trauma.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then we also the ones that got to talk to these kids, these kids, these boys and girls. Like, come on, what was that for? You did that for? You just brought a family together. You know what I mean? So these things, and now we got to take back our community through our barbershops. You get what I'm saying? And you all know that's one of our main purpose. You get what I'm saying? To provide mental health. You know what I mean? Corrections for sexual trauma. You know what I mean? Sexual misinformation. This COVID vaccine information. You know what I mean? People come to us. The sad reality is in 2021, the Black church has lost its credibility.
That's right.
The Black church has lost its credibility. And now where all the credibility lies now, it's back with us. You get what I'm saying? The market's trying to come to these barbershops and tap into our market, where once upon a time they're not doing it what they once was doing with the Black churches. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything. Look here, we the Rex, we're the gyms.
Training centers.
You know what I mean? Training centers. You know what I mean? We nutritionists.
That's right.
You know what I mean? We the information spots. You know what I mean? We address the information deserts in our community. How many kids come to the barbershop just to get online because they don't have Wi-Fi someplace else? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that we are doing. And it's the first time in history that we had this many African-American barbers and barbers of color, as well as the Latino and Hispanic barbers, work on the same page and the same agenda.
Mm-hmm.
We never had that before.
That's right.
We've never had that before.
That's right.
Brother Troy, so far as the latest incident, I mean, they not giving a lot of information. I don't know if you got more information about that. What was this latest incident about? You know what I mean, with 3 people.
So with that being said, we all are part of more than a shop. So we have a few brothers that's from that community that are also part of more than a shop. So when it happened, I got a phone call. You get what I'm saying? Like, what we gonna do? So I talked to him, and it was 2 barbers was murdered, 3 were shot, 2 were murdered, along with the salad who came by. You know what I mean? Who led the crime spree? He led the shooting spree. And with that being stated, no one really knows what's going on. You get what I'm saying? And I talked to some of the Hispanic barbers, and because of the circumstances that's going on in their community, a lot of them, they're afraid to speak out.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So they don't know really like what went on. All they know is he went to the first barbershop, he got into the words with a guy, he called him outside, and he murdered him. Then he left, went to the other shop, said a few words to the other guy, shot him. When he went to the third shop, he went in there and just shot him, right? And that's when the police officer that was in there, he jumped into duty. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that stopped. And so in that community, there's a lot of uncertainty. You get what I'm saying? Like, what brought that forth?
Did they all know each other?
Pretty much.
Did all the barbers know each other?
Pretty much, yes, they do. Because from what I understand, you had 2 barbers over there that came, and they was teaching and helping the other barbers, right? And all of them came from the same guy who helped all out of them. You get what I'm saying? So over there, it's a whole host of barbers, but most of them come from under the tutelage of these 2 barbers in the Hispanic community.
Okay.
One has passed away, and the other one, I think he's in New York, but he's still working. So all of them know one another. You get what I'm saying? And they beginning to work. But because of the issues that occur over there, you know what I mean? Like a lot of them might not be legal citizens. You know what I mean? They might not have license, and they're afraid to speak out. So, you know, we all got together. I said, if anybody will speak for you, I'll take that on, because we all are brothers of the blade. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The blade brings us together.
That's
and
right.
We all are barbers of color. So this affects us all. And it's real personal for me. So with me being a one, you know, we working on doing something for them. Because it could have been one of us. You get what I'm saying? It could have been one of us.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
and we all have, you know, so much in common. These were good family-oriented individuals. You get what I'm saying? They wasn't in the streets enough, and these were good law-abiding citizens. And they were barbers. You get what I'm saying? And they were barbers of color. They had children, you know. So now we working together to put something together for a fundraiser for them, for their children, because they're coming up on the holidays. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but like I keep saying, that was me. It's just that I walked away.
Yeah. Man, brother Troy, I appreciate your contribution, what you're doing for the whole barbering community as a whole. You know what I mean? You're a pioneer. I first met you. I first met brother Troy. I just walked into the shop. I mean, like literally, I used to go around and look at different barbers and how they work. And he's one of the barbers that I really went to and checked this situation out, check his setup out. You know what I mean? And I talked to him. He engaged with me. He taught me some little tricks of the trade and some good things that I use to this day. So, brother Troy, I would like to thank you for being there, being a mentor, being a big brother, and all of that, man. I appreciate your contribution and just the way you doing the barbers and the way you organizing us, man. You definitely a champion for us, man. But I want to switch the gears a little bit, because it's a mentality that's going on that's making people want to kill. You know what I mean? Because everybody's not like that. You know what I mean? Everybody's not tapped to the whole murder. If I get mad at you or I get jealous, I want to kill you. It's a lot of guys who do better than me financially and a lot of other areas, but I don't never get envious or jealous. It makes me grind even harder. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
It makes me go after mines and be more creative. It makes me till my land and go and produce something even harder. So there's an evil spirit out here that's in our communities, first of all, you know what I mean? Amongst our people, our family, friends, and so on and so on, our clients as well, you know what I mean? But disturbing news today, the young rapper, Young Dolph, was murdered. And, you know, we can't go too further on without mentioning, you know what I mean, what's going on with the streets and what's going on in the rap culture as well. Brother Carlos, he wrote an interesting post like 2 weeks ago, right, on Alpo Martinez, right? And it struck me because Alpo Martinez, who represents the street and he represents the snitch of the street, is also talked about in a rap music. You know what I mean? A lot by a lot of rappers, New York rappers, down south rappers, guys from DC, because of the history of the drug trade. But I want to make the coalition between today's rappers, not the MCs that we know about, not the Cash Ones and Big Daddy, but today's rappers and the street culture, brother Carlos. What's the correlation? Because the principles all seem the same, you know, the principles of how they live and how they take no shorts and how, you know what I mean, they're ready to kill and, you know what I mean, you know, sell drugs, the dope culture and all of that. Why are they so diametrically together?
Hey, but brother Sudiano, before you do that, with brother Carlos, I want to say to brother Troy right quick. You know what I'm saying, because that was the Blade Talk segment. I you know what I mean, I didn't want to keep him in the second segment as we go into the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So brother Troy, if you gotta leave, you know what I mean, you're welcome to stay if you want to stay. But if you gotta leave, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, we definitely understand that.
I'm good.
Oh,
Good.
okay, all right, cool.
Go on for the ride. We need you.
I'm good.
Yeah, you're part of the show.
Yeah, no doubt. Got you. Okay. All right. That's what's up. All right, brother Carlos.
We can't hear you.
Your mic is muted.
Okay. First and foremost, I want to thank you, brothers, for giving me the opportunity to even come on this show and on this platform. I've known both of you brothers almost about 20 years since I've been in Baltimore. And what I've known is you guys always been, pretty much some of the benchmarks or some of the fulcrum that would hold this community up. Where reality speaks, all the speakers that you brought to Baltimore, and I always commended y'all work. I think y'all brothers do an excellent, amazing job. So I just want to go back to the article I wrote. I know what you're saying, Sunday, then I want to sort of go into that code. I wrote an article on Instagram a few weeks ago, not an article, but like a post a few weeks ago, which prompted Sunday to hit me up about coming on this platform. And I'm just going to sum it up what I said. I said, when Rich Porter was killed, the community took a loss. When Elpo Martinez was killed, the community took a loss. When someone snitches, the community loses. When someone places themselves in a position to snitch, the community loses. And nobody in the community wins when any of our people are incarcerated or die from drug-related situations. Now, I only wanted to read a segment of that because what I've learned is that we created a code within the Black community, a code that even people that are not necessarily affiliated with that lifestyle or may not even have any dealings in that particular culture, they'll still adhere to that code because there's consequences for violating that code. We know the whole snitch code in general is something that replicated itself not in one city, but any city that Black people live, it replicates itself over and over and over again. And it became like a part of Black subculture in America. So we know, okay, if this person did X, Y, and Z and you respond to it or you say something to it about it, you're a snitch. And I was looking at some of the dialogue, which prompted me to even write that post about Elpo Martinez. And I seen educators on there saying, well, he's a rat, he's a snitch, he deserved to die. And certain people that I know were quote unquote upstanding citizens making reference to, this whole death. So I was like, you know what, let me address that in a different way, in a different angle. But I think that code is something that literally needs to be destroyed. If we're talking about uplifting our community or building our community, certain things have to be eradicated, period. We were talking about, I seen some comments in the bottom where somebody was saying that we have to police our own communities. We know it's detrimental when we actually call law enforcement in our community. That can go either way. It could be a situation where they're policed, or it could be a situation where the law enforcement come and one of our people are killed. So it's always a catch-22 when we may even think about, let me call the police or let me get law enforcement involved. So we have to do something else. We have to have a different alternative. And I believe that an alternative has to be us picking up the mantle, seeing that we have a problem in our community, and this problem is becoming detrimental to not only those involved in that particular code, but even the children, even the family members, the community at large. Everybody suffers when this type of activity takes place. So when I was making reference to Elpo Martinez, it wasn't, and some people jumped on that post saying, well, he was a rat, he deserved to die. They missed the whole point. When I said it was a loss to the community, that whole activity, Elpo Martinez represents an ideal that exists in the Black community. He represents a mentality that you was referring to, Sunday, that exists within the Black community. He represents a mindset that exists within the Black community. And every time that mindset replicates itself, we face great loss in the Black community.
That's right.
And that's what I wanted to address.
Yeah, so there's basically no winners. You know what I mean? It's no winners. When situations play out like this, there's no winners. And we can see today, you know what I mean? Nipsey Hussle, you know what I mean? In hip hop, Nipsey Hussle was taken away. Absolutely. There's no winners. They go back. I heard a lot of people in the other cat who suspected the suspect, who killed Nipsey Hussle, the guy they say killed Nipsey Hussle. Yeah. A lot of people around him end up dying. You know what I mean? It's just the cycle just continues to go on.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Even after the young dog, there's gonna be a lot of murders in Memphis. You know what I mean?
I was watching a news article where I don't know if she was a family member, but it was a young lady. She was like, "Oh, it's not over.
It's
this is on the news. She was like, it's not over. She was like, there's going to be a lot of deaths as a result of this.
It's going to be a lot of deaths.
You just made the point. Like, it's going to continue. And sadly, and this is going back to the original question you asked about hip hop. Sadly, we make music that bask in that. We watch movies that bask in it. Like almost everything that we admire, everything that we grab hold to, actually emulates that and perpetuates that. That's the stuff that we're promoting in the Black community, and it's really sad because we see the outcome. It results in a lot of loss.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So my thing is, at what point did we really become outraged with this whole thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, not just the rappers, but like I said, the barbershops and the community in the hood. And what we see, one thing that we see is the soundtrack that's out in our community right now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Kill, 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 murder, murder, murder. When you talk like this, people say, "Oh man, you hating on the youth. Let them portray their art." Well, that's art. You know what I'm saying? Just murder, death, and destruction. You feel what I'm saying? At some point, you know what I mean? We got to start looking like, look, we know where our music was at one point in time, especially when we talk about the hip hop era, or even before the hip hop era, and where it was. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff was about love, and it was about, coming. Even the breakup songs was almost like love songs. You know what I'm saying? Had a certain vibe. You know what I mean? You had groups and all together. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta at some point become outraged and say, man, look, enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, on the major radio stations should ban the talk of anybody talking about killing, death, and destruction. Right now, we can't have the luxury of talking, of being us even being in the club, even us going in the club, talking, two in the head, one in the body, and all that kind of stuff. Like, we can't have that right now because of what's going on, because it's been an uproar in our community. The numbers that we have in our community, we don't got the luxury to be talking like that right now. We got to change that message. Now we talking about lyrical slaughter and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And people talking metaphorically. That's different. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So all of the talk is just that. And then in our community, we living in a community of white supremacy. Let's not give the white man, you know what I'm saying? Let's not, his hidden hand and all of it.
Absolutely.
Amos Wilson talk about all this black on black violence is in the service of white domination.
Absolutely.
They lay the conditions out there, you know what I'm saying? Because right now our conditions, because of our broken homes and our broken families, you know what I mean? The man and woman not getting along with one another. And then, you know what I'm saying? And now it's just this big culture of people that's lost in the world, and they go and get lost, as Brother Del Jones would talk about in this nigger factory that it is, you know what I mean? Because that's what it is, you know what I mean? This community, this culture breeds niggas. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Mentalities, you know what I'm saying? So at what point, I'm asking even a listening audience, what point do we stand up and say, nah, we ain't listening to that, or we ain't letting our children listen to that? Because right now we got a problem too, because our children are listening to social media, and all these people that's talking this stuff, they bathing in that stuff. Now, see, when stuff started to break down, we had, like, back in the day, we had the Chuck D's and the Big Daddy Kanes and all these different people. They started to introduce us to this NWA, which kind of turned a lot of us out. Me too. You know what I'm saying? They introduced it to us. You know what I'm saying? But in the midst of that, there was still a balance, right? There was still a balance that was going on, and we could still, even if we got that NWA bitch talk and all that stuff, we still had KRS-One that was dropping this, and we still had that. Right. Today, they ain't got no balance. And there ain't no filter. It's all just, I'm a whore. Pop the pill, pop this, pop the pill, 3 top 4. You know what I'm saying? And at what time, I'm asking, you know what I'm saying, that do we become outraged and say, nah, enough is enough? No, we getting ready to take a stand for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got to learn. I appreciate what the LGBTQ, what they do, because if you say anything in your lyrics about their lifestyle or anything of that nature, you know what I mean? They coming for your head quick, you know what I mean? And we got to band together like that as well, you know what I mean? We got to band together and put pressure on the record companies, on the people who sponsor, you know what I mean? Things of that nature, and tell them we ain't having it. The radio stations, Radio 1, you know what I mean? 92Q, you know what I mean? Our local radios, we got to put pressure on them. At least to have balance, you know what I mean? At least to have balance, play, you know what I mean? Play some more Mos Def and some, you know what I mean? Some more Nas, you know what I mean? Play some more, you know what I mean? Jay Electronica, some Kendrick Lamar, balance, you know what I mean? because they oversaturating it. You know what I mean? So they constantly pounding that negativity, but it's all up to us how far we want to take it. You know what I mean? And the men of the community, you know what I mean? When the war horn calls, we got to answer, and we got to come together as a weapon and unify and manifest what we need to manifest. Man, it's up to us. Period.
Yeah.
What I find interesting, and Jabari, you was making reference to this. Even when rappers was like, you know, you might have had a rapper talking about something negative or something that may have been negative in our community. They still had a moral at the end of it. It was still something that would get you out of it. Now, if somebody died on the song, they just died on the damn song. If somebody get killed, they just got killed. Then we'll kill that nigga again, and we'll kill his family, blah, blah, blah. And it ends right there. It's like, okay, there's no moral story or no moral to the end of this music. So that's what the people leave with. And one thing we don't realize that there's something called, you know, auto-suggestion, and the subconscious mind can't really distinguish from fantasy and reality. And we don't realize that, you know, we're feeding messages, subliminal messages into our consciousness all the time by listening to certain things and then, you know, playing this stuff for our children. If you look on social media all day, every day, scroll down and you see babies listening to the to the negative music and knowing the lyrics. You're like, wow. But people are cool with their little 3-year-old knowing some of these songs and, you know, knowing the lyrics to some of these songs. You shouldn't be cool with that. If it's a little child, you shouldn't be cool with leaving that child in the same boat that this generation is in, unless you want your child to be a potential statistic as well.
Exactly.
You know, one of the problems that I see is there's no accountability in our community.
Right.
There's no accountability. And that stems from, you know, how we let society and the society and the ones who make the decisions dictate in our community. Like, you can't beat your kid. What you mean I can't discipline my child? You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You don't want nobody else to discipline our child, you know? And, you know, with all of that, and then, you know, in the 80s and 90s, how they started breaking up the black communities through gentrification. You know what I mean? Right. You know, I grew up in a generation, man, like, what I do is solely is what I'm supposed to do. You know, when I was 10, 12, I could only play with children that was 10, 12. I couldn't play with nobody that was 8 or 9 or nobody that was 14, 15. You know what I mean? Because our communities were structured. You know what I mean? You had recs. You had people to say, hold up, you 10, you 12, all right. You know, when I turned 13, you had to play with the 13 and over. You get what I'm saying?
That's right, yeah.
And it was levels. It was accountability. You know what I mean? The big boys let you know this is a big boy thing. You know what I mean? Get away from here. You know?
Yeah.
And like, you know, my mother was I was a latchkey kid. You know, my mother worked to give me and my brother things, right? But she wasn't there. But the woman, Miss Curlin, Miss Gwen, you know what I mean? And Miss Dot, they helped with me and my brother. So, you know, biologically, it was only 2 of us. But I had like 10, 12 other brothers and like 4 or 5 sisters because we all grew up amongst one another. You get what I'm saying? We was held accountable by everybody else's mother. You know what I mean? Nobody went hungry, but we had a community. You had a family. You had a village. Nowadays, you don't have these communities. You have development where you can live in a house and your house is 100, 250,000, but you don't know your neighbor. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't know your neighbor. Come on, man. We knew everybody that lived next door. We knew their cousins. We knew this. You know what I mean? And then, like, you know,
around the corner.
Yeah, and like, you know, what is so disturbing? Like, you know, we always had sexual predators in our community. You know what I mean? But it was no secret. You already knew. Your mother and them that you know. I don't want to see you over Mr. So-and-so house. And you over there, you can't be by yourself. You get what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, you don't know who this is. You turning their back. Come on, man. Stop playing. You know what I mean? If a person did a crime, somebody said something to you. You know what I mean? I got smacked in my head. I got kicked in my ass because I did things that I wasn't supposed to by somebody else who didn't live in my house. And then they took me home and they told me. Then I got repercussions from that. You know what I mean? Now they tell you what you can't do. You ain't supposed to do that. You know what I mean? A person do something and they say, it ain't affecting you. How it didn't affect you, it affect the whole community.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We got to take back our communities.
That's right.
You know what I mean? The record labels, they came in and they knew if you talking about peace and harmony, Queen Latifah, you got to go. You know what I mean? But if you talking about two to the head, kill them dead. You know what I mean? Pop that coochie. You know what I mean? Sling that. Oh, come on, man. That's soul. And now these kids who don't know no better. You know what I mean? You don't even have love songs. You don't even have balladeers.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no love songs. Yeah.
You had songs like Wake Up Everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No more, you know what I mean? Motivational, inspirational songs. You get what I'm saying? Where is that at these days?
Self-destruction.
And then you got on television the idiot box, you know what I mean? The minister said that, and the minister been saying that for years. You know what I mean? Don't let this idiot box raise your kids. Because there will come a time and day where these children will be able to eat concrete and they will kill concrete. You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
And it's like
the minister said that, man, and what was that? 90, 91?
Yes, sir.
It's a reality today. You know what I mean? We don't have neighborhoods. We have developments. Then you have a lot of people, you know what I mean, that's in our city and they making decisions for our city, but they have no ties to our community.
No connection.
That's right.
No ties to our community, but they're in our city.
And I like to say that the brother Troy, I like to say too, like it's like after they dropped that song, Self-Destruction, like sure enough, that's what I mean. It was like the prophesy, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we hit it for self-destruct, you know what I mean? And just look at it. After they dropped that song,
and what happened? You know, they was dropped.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them got dropped from label, you know what I mean? Like they stopped getting into the popular media. The popular media was like, no, we're not taking it in. I think a lot of them brothers saw that, you know, brothers and sisters saw that they was getting ready to start like putting them out of the circle. You know what I mean? No, we not putting y'all in there. Y'all talking about all this empowerment, all this black power stuff. You know what I'm saying? No, we putting up NWA, and now we, you know what I'm saying, and all these other people. Now we bringing this wave in right now. Man, I like, you know, I love the West Coast. I love brother. I love Ice Cube, man. You know what I'm saying? I love Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? You know, and brother Ice Cube is doing some great work now. He's done some great work all through the years.
Yes,
brother Ice Cube and NWA, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they was, you know what I mean? They was some of the people at the head of that. You know what I'm saying? I got, the other thing, crew back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Started a lot of those waves and stuff. You know what I mean? And like you said, they switched out taste. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
The energy.
They switched the energy. Like, wait a minute, no, this what y'all gonna like. Y'all gonna like, you know, everybody said this is what the people want to hear. No, this is the taste that y'all have developed.
It wasn't necessarily what the people wanted to hear. They knew that was going to sell.
No, well, I mean, but they created the taste because it's selling. It fills up their prisons and it fills up, you know what I'm saying, everything else. You know what I mean?
Because Run DMC went triple and double platinum easily. Without doing a lot of that stuff.
That goes back to the whole notion of programming, TV programming, radio programming. You know, somebody cursing somebody else. You may want to mute that.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, but my man, you know what I mean. And so this bring me back to a point, like, you know, with I wanted to play this right here because, man, we was doing this stuff years ago, you know what I'm saying, with the girls, you know what I'm saying, with Watoto from the Nile, and we was actually going after, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I mean, like big people like, yo, nah, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean, we had the LGE movement was the life-giving energy movement, you know what I'm saying, which, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, right now, we got a deaf culture going on right now in our community. Absolutely. It's a deaf culture going on in our community. Let me just drop this because I played this for my daughter. She in the video on the way down, but let me share this with y'all right quick with the family as before we go further and say where we was at. We did this video maybe about 7 years ago, you know what I'm saying, with my daughters. But let me share this with the family right quick. uh.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know us for music, man, but we did music. We did a lot of good music.
Yeah, I remember y'all was rapping, and so y'all don't do it at all anymore.
Not really. But we still about the unified die, though.
Yes, sir.
And
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Y'all can see that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I don't care who's first or who's last, but y'all better rock this at the drop of a dime, baby. Now I don't know what y'all gonna do with this, but it got to be funky.
Let's go.
It got to be finished before the music is through. Y'all ready?
Or the slave rappers can stay back, talking cash money, talking made back. Cause I just watched that Hidden Colors, our history, it goes way back. What you saying ain't real rap, cause real raps, they stay facts. For record deals, you sell yourself. Why Toto, we don't play that. I'm just starting, I'm warming up. Why you want me on drugs? Teaching hate, disrespect, sick delusional thugs. Doing work for them slave masters. Won't run cause they might catch you. Lose your house, lose your car, keep dancing cause they looking at you. Keep running, gotta catch you. Why you running from love? Heart of gold, represent from the heavens above. Malcolm X was a straight legend, you disrespected for fame. Bow your head, pray to God, you disrespected his name. Ancestors, they flipping out cause you ain't showing no shame. Woo! No role model, yeah, that's the name of this game. Boss man, trap house, guessing making you twerk. Calico like Low Deluxe, we bout to give you this word. Gangsta girl, law sister, young girls can't roll with you. Teachers love, self-respect, got LGE, got love with you. Piece of cake, join the ranks, join the gospel of love. Walk with them, great mistake, can't go back like it was.
Yeah, it's time to work, time to celebrate. Got a ton of love and I can't wait. Got them kale chips and some hungry guys, get the money up. We got mad weight, we in mad stores and we want more. Get this operation, wanna do it. Get the motherland, take a sand and sand. Now this operation, wanna show the show. Tell the world you got something bad. Disrespect, we ain't playing that. But for help, you go underground, we go government, we be tricking that. Representing that real rap. Rain test, but ain't loving back. Think you free, but you still a slave. Yeah, Miss Thomas told me I should tell you that.
Got a big house in a Carter mess, popping Molly pills, got a bad bash. Now you gotta have it in your fancy well, even though we never made contact. Cause what you say in small rap, if they see you doing and they doing that. Now you rich and all, and I pray to God you ain't claim this all, you giving back. Now you trying to give me a pill, no? Grab a gun and just chill, no? Kill my sister, kill my brother, that's what's making me real, no? Stand and fight for what's right, yo. Stand and fight for Big Mike, yo. Young thug, we your backbone, cause you rather party than fight.
Oh, we gotta deal with it. It's time to heal with it. No time to chill with it. Hands up high, get real with it.
Hands up high, they got Mike Brown. Bang, bang, shot him down. 6 hours left him on the ground. Time to come together, time to hold it down. Big gas, you gon' bang that. Speaking up, you ain't bout that. Big smack, popping this, popping that, but you ain't really gonna bang back. Back buff for this small rap. About to bring 2 pop back. Representing that real rap, that fight the power, bring Chuck back. Now here, time to flow. Fake rappers, it's time to go. Ride around delivery, your flow cheese like dominoes. Hands up, we gon' stick 'em up. Type and style now, that's what's up. Talking all that, smack 'em up. All you do is just time to heal, bottom line, time's up. Last round, victory, that's all mine. Angel here, prime time. Bow and pray, we on God's time. Stand and fight for your own kind. Now Queens, we here to stay. Freedom fighters, bottom line.
Yeah.
Whoa. That was hot.
Hold on. Your sisters don't rap anymore?
That's fine.
Well, you know what I mean? Right now we ain't been doing that. No, we stopped doing it a little while ago. You know what I mean? You know, but I mean, you know, we reached like millions of people, you know what I'm saying, with that message, you know what I mean? So I mean, we ain't gone nowhere, but I mean, you know, man, you know what I mean? But we was putting that message out there, you know what I mean? It was about love, and it was about, you know what I mean, them standing up, you know what I'm saying, and taking a stand, because everybody else was out there just talking crazy and talking other stuff. So we was taking people's music that was real negative, and we was like just rewriting their songs and then putting out original music all at the same time.
I remember seeing little girls doing it. So those the same girls? They got bigger at that point. Yeah.
Oh, well, they was even little right there. Now they all grown up now.
But
you ain't seen them in a minute. Yeah.
I haven't seen them in a minute. But
Yeah,
you know what? But they're more needed now than ever.
Oh yeah,
You gotta look at what happened with even the female rappers now.
Mm-hmm.
Every female rapper is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Every last one of them.
Yeah, same thing.
You know,
same thing. It's the same. You know what I'm saying? When they come out, they got to come out wearing a bathing suit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, and they can't really talk about it. Now I do like Sister Rhapsody.
Rhapsody.
Yeah, I love rap, man. Rhapsody is hot, man. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, she one of my favorite rappers. You know what I mean?
But other than Rhapsody, who else is out there?
Rock. What's this out of Georgia? Like Rock.
What's the name? Rock. Yeah,
Rock. She nice.
Yeah, Rock. Yeah. She nice out there. You know what I'm saying?
You still got Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill did a nice little joint on Nas joint.
You know, well, I'm saying like in terms of like new rappers. I mean, you know, the elders, or you know, I want to call her elder because Lauryn Hill's my age. Well, she's actually young. Yeah. You know, I definitely think those messages are important. You know.
Yeah. They are. So at what point? Oh, you ready to say something, Sunyata?
Yeah, I was gonna say something. How powerful music is. Music is so powerful. Even when we did the Unified Die, we had a our first album was Unified Die, and this is basically what this show represents as well. You know what I mean? Us unifying, us coming up with solutions, us knowing that we at a pinnacle where we got to make a decision. You know what I mean, for future generations. But however, a friend of mine posted the event that we're doing, a fundraiser on Instagram. Right, we're doing a fundraiser on December 4th, a night for Baltimore, and he posted it, and the cat saying "Conscious Heads." Right, this cat is in Texas. He said, "Conscious Heads." He said, "I grew up listening to them. Talk about our rap group, bro, to a whole nother person." You feel what I'm saying? So he screenshotted it, and this is somebody we knew we didn't even know we touched. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He screenshotted me that today because he posted the flyer today. It's people all around the country that we impacted. You know what I mean? Through our music. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just to see that, you know what I mean? That's just the testimony and confirmation that music is powerful, and people it stays with people and it resonates with them. And they let you recognize it, and they give you your flowers. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it goes to what Jabari, I think, mentioned it. You know, you were saying that you didn't want to let you know, the white man off the hook.
Yeah.
And I agree with you 1,000,000%. You know, because one thing I think Black people tend to do, of course, we have to look at ourselves. We have to.
Exactly.
You know, we know we
first.
We have to look at ourselves first, right? But we can't let the you know, unseen hand. We can't let you know, the wicked former slave master and his children off the hook, because you know they set up a system so intricately that they don't even have to do anything now, even though they're still doing stuff.
Yeah.
They don't have to. They created the system so well that it just, you know, like
self-refueling,
absolutely.
Yeah. What Carter G. Woodson talked about that. You know what I mean? When you train people, you ain't gotta, you know what I mean, they'll go make a back door themselves, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, so you're right, bro.
People won't really question and look into it. I was on a film on a cast today for We Run the City. We own the city, we run the city. And it's about the gun trace task force in Baltimore, you know what I mean? And we've been telling people for years, like how, you know what I mean, like stuff be going on in the streets, but you know what I mean, like wicked police officers, you know, be behind a lot of shit that's going on in the streets. You know what I mean? A lot of the killings, they be setting people up, they be putting one crew against a whole nother crew, you know what I mean? Make them fight in war. They say this person is snitch, we got papers on this person, and they, you know what I mean? They make a war. But when we was always telling people that, they would never believe it. But when a gun trace task force got broken down, those papers and the real came out, and we seen how divisive they were behind those badges. You know what I mean? How divisive they were in the community, how they were setting people up, how they was, you know what I mean, committing murders and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Like people wouldn't normally believe that when you say the unseen hand. Oh, the white man ain't got nothing to do with that. But that was an all white ran task force. You know what I mean? From Jenkins and Herschel and them. You know what I mean? They ran that thing. They ran it to the T. And a lot of that stuff, a lot of the work they was doing on the streets, people would think black people was doing it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's an actual fact. That ain't. You
know what they do, Sundiata? They'll put something like that right in the movie, right before us, and then we'll say, you know what, man, y'all watch too much TV. That'll be our response. Y'all watch too much TV. When you bring up something that may be considered like a conspiracy theory, if you
Yeah.
will, or something that may not really be, you know, we just find it unbelievable that certain things could actually be happening, or white
Exactly.
folks could be actually moving a certain way, or law enforcement can actually be moving a certain way. We find it unbelievable. To me, for us to find stuff unbelievable at this time is like unfathomable. Like, how can you actually think some of this stuff is not even believable? That's crazy.
Because history, which is best qualified for all our research, history proves that that stuff is possible.
Absolutely.
We go back in the books, all that stuff been happening. You know what I mean? Everything that
Plus-
has been happening.
Plus, another thing is, you know, we've been desensitized.
That's right. That's right.
Sensitized.
And being I mean, come on now. You take a kid, you give him a video game, right? And now this video game, do y'all recall some years back, the young guy took the game, right? Playing Grand Theft Auto. He became so consumed in it, he wanted to play the real thing. So what he did was he stole a car. Took somebody's gun, went on a shooting spree, right? Bam. He shot a police, hit him in the head, bam. Went to another spot, right? Took the car, drove it off. Then all of a sudden, they found the kid eating in a fast food restaurant. When they went in there, they questioned him, and they asked him, what was his motive? You know what the boy said? He was just playing the game. When they asked him what was he doing in the he said, I was finished playing a game. I was hungry. I was eating. Think of that. You've been so desensitized. You know what I mean? And they kept it hush. But it's the reality. And now they got a terminology for that. You get what I'm saying? So if you're doing that with kids, you get what I'm saying? Shoot them in the head. You know what I mean? Call out women bitches and whores and tricks. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do the music. Then you put all of this mayhem in social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
TikTok,
Yeah.
IG. Well, you really don't even have to post. Just a 30-second clip.
Yep.
What did the music industry need? The music industry know. You can take a song
right.
that has no substance to it.
That's
but if you put it in a regular rotation,
that's right. There you go.
What'll happen?
There you go.
Catch on to it.
There you
and
go.
it becoming. They
And like you
showed
said,
it
bro-
in the Motown movies. You get what I'm saying? How they did it. And now they doing it through what? Social media, television. Listen, one of the worst, and this is my personal feelings, and I stand by it. One of the worst part of disrespect to our black women and black queens was the Real Housewives. When have you ever seen black women argue, fuss, cutthroat, and do this and do that? And then you got these young girls now that they think that that's normal to disrespect one another, not to stand, not to support, not to encourage, not to get behind. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Cat fight out in public. You know what I mean? Then you have all of these
calling themselves bitches. Men don't have to do it no more.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then look at the clothes. Look at the clothes that's designed. As the minister said, by these freaky ass designers, the women and all of that. It's nothing left to the imagination.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Nothing left to the imagination. Everything is out. Everything, you know what I mean? Come on. And it's so bad these days that society has turned the young lady against the older black man.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you how they do it. And how they have promoted it. You can say to a young lady, sister, put some clothes on. Why you doing that? First thing she say is, he made me feel uncomfortable. Now you under scrutiny. You get what I'm saying? And you are guilty to proving innocent. And don't let somebody take out a phone. By the time they edit that, you could be doing the right thing. You get what I'm saying? And who does that affect? That affects the black man who's trying to stand up to say, hold up, this ain't right. You know what I mean? Sister, wrap yourself up. Who you is to tell me I can't wear this on? They sold it to me. I paid good money for it. But do you understand what it's doing? I'm not looking at you. I'm not even listening to you. I don't know what you have up here. All I see is what I see down there.
She gonna tell you need to control yourself. You know.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Control myself. But you out of order, sister. You get what I'm saying? You don't even know what it is to be supported or encouraged because you've been tore down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then society say that this is normal. You know what I mean? You gonna tell little boys that it's all right for them to not understand who they are as a male. As a male.
So
he can make his own choice. How can he make his own choice? How can she make her own choice? That's a child. I didn't have no say-so until I actually earned that right to be an independent person. Once upon a time, what do older folks say? Get out of grown folks' business. Grown folks talking now.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? If something dramatic was happening in the community, what they do? Get the children away from here. We don't need these children seeing this.
Yep.
Where's that at now? Where's that at now? That's why I say we got to take our community back.
That's right.
And the only thing I know is we got to lead by example. So lead by example.
So let me ask y'all something. You know, because as we start talking about, we talked about NWA, and we talked about different folks and destruction and all. Now, when it comes to Jay-Z and Nas, you know what I'm saying, these different people, you know what I'm saying, what's y'all feeling on Jay-Z? I mean, like, I know in his early years, and I'm gonna be honest, I mean, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Y'all can speak on it. In his early years, I wasn't a big fan of Jay-Z initially. You know what I'm saying? I thought that he added to, you know what I mean, with the drug rap and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I was just really coming into consciousness during that time. You know what I'm saying? But I watched him. Now, I'll be honest, you know what I'm saying? I know some people say he in this and Illuminati and all this other kind of stuff, you know, different things. Jay-Z is probably like my favorite rapper now, only because I watched him grow and develop. And I watched him start to say stuff as he started to grow and develop. Where he started off as a drug rapper, you know what I'm saying? And then it get this and get that. He was never like a big promoter of, you know what I mean, do this and, you know what I mean, pop this, you know what I'm saying, and all those different things, or kill him up, bang, bang, and all that kind of stuff. It was just the drug culture that he really, you know, put out there, whatever. But I watched him grow. And I watched him go, you know what I mean, to me, talk about stuff about, you know, leaving a legacy, you know what I'm saying, and about financial, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying. Even that song that him and Pharrell put out that a lot of people miss, you know what I'm saying, Black Entrepreneur. I don't know if y'all familiar with that one, you know what I mean. Something they snuck in there, but it was about black businesses all throughout the country and, you know, different places and stuff like that. But I mean, I think that, you know what I'm saying, like you can be down in it, you know what I mean, and you can be a part of the problem. Just like Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you start off as a problem and then make some correction in general, you know what I'm saying? But when I see people like, and I know, see, now I don't want to talk about this, but I'm gonna point this out. But when I see people like Drake, who, you know, man, I watch his career, I don't see, like, not that he don't talk about a whole bunch of kill him, shoot him up, but he will, you know, I mean, he will throw some pills out there, you know what I mean, and different things and some disrespect the black woman. I don't see Drake's progression as a hip hop artist. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. He's like, I'm stuck. This is what the people, I'm gonna give them this every time. Even that last album, I'm just gonna give them this. And you can't see the growth of him saying something about, I was there, you know what I'm saying? And now even with Snoop Dogg, you know what I'm saying? You'll see Snoop and all the training that he gave us, you know what I mean? All that, you know what I mean? And all that, you know what I'm saying? He gave us some stuff. But you can see the progression as you hear him talk and stuff like that. So what do you think about? I mean, people like what do you think about Jay-Z and Drake's and folks like that? You know what I mean? Like,
I'll be honest. I always liked Jay. I always liked Nas. You know, those were some of my favorites. But I looked at them more so on their their rhyme ability, their ability to tell stories and narratives, and how they put words together. At that time, did I believe that some of the stuff they were doing was detrimental to the community? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I had knowledge of self since like 89, 88, 89. And so I was already looking at them a certain way, like, okay, there's some negativity in what they're saying, but I also seen some of the little gems or some of the little subtleties that they will say. I remember Minister Farrakhan was talking about some of the poison that was used with certain hip hop artists, but they would also use some healing messages as well. And I know, like, anytime you want to heal a community, sometimes you got to, like, put something in there that may attract them, but then you educate them. Sort of like how Public Enemy came out. When the first Public Enemy album came out, it wasn't really a lot of positivity. They had a song called "Message to the Black Man."
Right.
I never met a mouth in motion. Never, y'all know the song.
Yeah.
But like they had "Sophisticated Bitch," Yo Bum Rush the Show, like that first PE album. And then they came out on stage with Uzis. My Uzi weighs a ton. So the imagery at that time was like, yo, these dudes is wild, and people were inclined to PE. But then, the second album they dropped, A Nation of Million Holds Us Back. And it was like, they was dropping a message. So that was a small period of time for them. But then you see like these rappers like the Jay-Z's and the Nas's. I mean, Nas always would put something in his rap, even though he would put like drug dealing and everything too. But he would put like, some lessons in his rap, drop a little 5% jewel here and there.
Yep.
But I think you definitely can see, like, in terms of their lifestyle, you can see the evolution. And I think Jay-Z is a little more conscious of, what he put out there because he's a father now. He's a husband.
Yeah.
And he's definitely putting out messages to talk about Black excellence and Black empowerment. And those things are good. It's sort of like how we had Malcolm. We had Malcolm Little. And Malcolm Little literally had to talk about, when I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, if I didn't read them first chapters and whole Detroit Red, I probably would have lost interest. But because I read all the negative stuff that Malcolm was doing, I got interested in the book. Then it took me all the way to, the Black Muslims and, Malcolm's evolution through that book. So I think, because of the dire situation that we're in as a community, the poison that is so pervasive in our community, the negativity that we see on a regular basis, and all the stuff we've been talking about in this forum, I think we have to be strategic in even how we deliver things. Like how you was you and Sundiata was using hip hop as a vehicle. How you had the girls rapping, even though the cadence was still similar to how people rap.
Yeah.
But, the messages were a lot different. So I think it's just about how we do it and what we embrace. And I think them brothers are definitely progressing. I watch Snoop Dogg too, and I'm like, yo, Snoop is a whole different Snoop.
Yeah.
Snoop was talking crazy, when he came.
Definitely, ain't no doubt. He definitely turned me out. I mean, when I say turned out, like I said, we had a balance.
Oh yeah.
But when it came to when it came to my respect for Black women, during those times, you know what I mean? It was just like, it just went from, boom to boom. And and I'm like, listening to them talk, the NWA West Coast talk, and then East Coast started talking like that. It was just like, although it just turned my mind, somewhere else, and I started looking at things different. Now when you look at these guys now, like, even, no disrespect, the brother passed away, God rest his soul, the young Dolphs and all these people, and I was trying to listen to some before I came here, and this is like, there is no respect at all for the Black woman, and for real, we got to talk about that. That's even what my young queens, like we say, like the nation say, a nation can rise no higher than this woman.
That's right.
When they drop our woman down to, the only thing they can do is rap in bathing suits. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, what have you ever seen Nicki Minaj in some regular clothes or some regular jeans? Have you ever seen Megan style, you know what I'm saying? And just like a regular, just like a regular dress. No, every time you see it, she's in a bathing suit or a two-piece, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what the industry like, look, this what you gonna wear. And we're gonna portray the Black woman. So all over the world, you know what I'm saying, people have a taste of this and look at our women as, as loose, you know what I'm saying? So they look at Megan, you know what I mean? And so the Hispanic community, the white community, and everybody like, man, look at them. That's who they are. You know what I'm saying?
We seen that transition with Foxy and Lil' Kim,
Oh, no doubt.
Before that, it was Latifah, Moni Love, MC Light,
man,
people wore regular clothes.
How about that? No, how about that? Yeah.
Lil' Kim came with her like legs cocked open, and we like, what the hell's going on? So
yeah. And we all, and like I said, I love Biggie. I know people gonna beat up on me for that. You know what I'm saying? But Biggie was right. Biggie put that out there. You know what I'm saying? And Biggie wanted that to be out there. Look, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? It gotta be shock and awe. You gotta get out there, you know what I mean, and say stuff, you know what I mean, that, you know what I mean, that's just going sexually, you know what I'm saying, like be like crazy, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, and like I said, I love Biggie, and I know people talk about how much, you know what I'm saying, like he's like one of the #1 rappers and stuff like that. He is, but Biggie got a lot of lyrics to answer for, man. I mean, he got some stuff that you know, I'm like, whoa, what did he mean by that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, I'm not, and look, like I said, we bring you to the barbershop floor, family. Because, you know what I mean? This is stuff we talk about. You know what I mean? This is the issue. You know what I'm saying? So I think Biggie got a lot to answer for so far as some of his lyrics. You know what I'm saying? In general, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead, brother Sunyata.
But yeah, I appreciate what everybody has been contributing this evening. But we not just the gloom and doom show, guys. There's a lot of other good stuff going on. All the work that we're doing, brother Carlos Muhammad, the great work you're doing, the great work the Honorable Jabari Natur is doing, brother Troy Staten, the work that you're doing. But in hip hop, there's something excellent going on, and it's with Kanye West. You know what I mean? If you heard Kanye West last couple of interviews, I thought they was powerful. You know what I mean? I thought he mentioned a lot of good things in there, and he broke a lot of good things down. I know he'd be sporadic a lot of times. I'd be sporadic a lot of times, but you know what I mean?
Hold up, Tony, you just calling Kanye crazy, man. The show.
No, we raised the question. No, we raised the question.
Hold up, man. Stop that, man.
We raised the question. We raised the question. However, him and Drake, they had a long feud going on. You know what I mean? They had a long feud going on against each other and with each other. And over the weekend, you know what I mean, last couple of days, they decided to come and unify that thing, man. And I think that's big because those two of the biggest artists in entertainment, you know what I mean, to come together and put their differences to the side, you know what I mean? And they give us an example, you know what I mean? They give the younger people an example, you know what I mean, to come together, you know what I mean? To put your swords down, you know what I mean? Put your swords down and come in love. And Jay Prince is in the middle of that, you know what I mean? He an OG. So, you know what I mean? The OG's got to step up. Because Jay Prince represents the streets and he represents the business suites as well. You know what I mean? But he's come together and he fostered that relationship, you know what I mean? And that bond. He brought that together. So, you know what I mean? That's something powerful that we can look at and also, you know what I mean, talk about as well. Because whenever we unify, man, we got to make that, you know what I mean, the front line. Because with all the, you know what I mean, darkness that is going on, there is a lot of light. And all of us are representations of the sons, you know what I mean, who are shining light amongst the community. You know what I mean? So big ups to Kanye West, Drake, you know what I mean, Jay Prince, you know what I mean? Y'all keep unifying. Y'all keep, you know what I mean, fighting for Larry Hoover and the political prisoners. You know what I mean? We can't forget about our political prisoners because they did a concert in benefit of Larry Hoover. You know what I mean? And I support that as well. You know what I mean? I support going back, getting the political prisoners because they have a lot of influence on the street. And their basis was that, you know what I mean, in Chicago, Larry Hoover, they from Chicago. The streets are out of whack because like the OGs ain't even back. You know what I mean? They're not in the streets no more. So the structure is gone. So when you take them and you remove them from the houses, you remove the father from the houses, you move the OGs from the streets, the structure gone. You know what I mean? Everything is out of whack, no accountability. You know what I mean? So I appreciate what they're trying to do with that whole situation, that campaign right there.
Hey, can I say something real fast?
Yes, sir.
And this was on me. Back to what y'all was saying about earlier about the rap song Self-Destruction, right? Think about this. Self-Destruction was the first rap that came out where you had the whole rap industry come together on one song.
That's right. That's right.
And it was for peace and it was unity in that.
In love.
After that, what happened? They dismantled rap and they went in a whole different direction because they had already saw what unity and what black music was going in the direction.
Yep. And you know what, Troy?
They stopped signing
the West Coast they tried to do it too. We're all in the same gang.
They did. Yep. We all in the same gang. They came back and did it. You know what I mean? And the question is and
what happened to them? They dismantled all of them.
Yeah.
They stopped signing contracts.
Yeah.
And they brought in what? They brought in murder and mayhem.
That's right. That's right.
Sex and drugs.
The question is rap today, can they pull off another self-destruction? Because most of them all are participating in, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the rappers in the destruction, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So can we get to them, you know what I'm saying, to these rappers today? In some kind of way, we got to get to them because right now they at war. Our people at war, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we was living and dying in a war zone called America. You feel what I'm saying? Our people we at war right now. And even if we talking about the streets, we talking about in our homes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Black man, black woman, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because that's where it starts at for real. We said before, you know what I mean? The black man and black woman getting along. These over-sexualized songs out there, girls talking about, oh yeah, give me, oh, all this other kind of stuff, and the bed can I make it disappear, and all that other kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Over-sexualized songs. They in the club, they get together, and next thing you know, this girl is pregnant. 2 months later, they don't even know each other. They realize that they can't stand each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they end up on,
later,
they
have
end
a
up
baby.
on Jerry Springer.
On Jerry Springer. On Jerry Springer.
See, that's another undermining. That's another undermining hating ass.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that becomes normal. And what do? He show at 9 o'clock in the morning. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when they wake up and they run around and check it out. We grew up on cartoons and funnies. They growing up on Jerry Springer. Self-destruction, self-hate, degradation, ignorance, total mayhem. You get what I'm saying? At 9 o'clock in the morning. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Ain't no doubt about that.
You follow me?
I see a lot of
that's how you start your day off. And he been doing this for 20 years straight. That's a whole. Come on, man. Come on. That's 2 decades.
Yes,
and he's still highly rated. Why the hell he on television?
Right.
Pushing the propaganda.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Black exploitation.
Yeah. That's what it is. At its finest. At its finest.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Let me just make this
announcement.
announcement.
And then they come right to the barbershop and they come to us and we gotta slow down. Come on, it's too early in the morning. Have you eaten? You get what I'm saying? Yeah, come on, man.
But look, let me make this announcement real quick. Again, if y'all tuning in, y'all on our YouTube, like the YouTube. Can you comment? Now we can't see the comments coming from Facebook. I can't really see those comments unless I go to the page. I did put a link on my page. If people want to come in for a few seconds, we about to close out shortly. But if they want to come in, I did put a link up. But look, support. We got a bill passed in the whole state of Maryland. We did. Our shops did. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And House Bill 1317, which allows us to take on more apprenticeships, which means more jobs in the Black community. Right.
That's right.
So we saying like, look, at bare minimum, my phone ain't been ringing yet. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? 13, who's gonna be the first person to do the 1317? You know what I mean? Donation. You can do the Cash App. It's going across the screen. You know what I mean? We take that. We put it in our fundraiser right now. We about $4,000 something. You know what I'm saying? We're a little short from this. You know what I mean? The $25,000 goal. You know what I'm saying? But we got to pick it up. We ending it off in December, so that this big black this black tie affair that we have in the next couple of weeks.
That's right.
This is like you come dressed to impress. It's like a prom. You know what I mean? It's like the prom that you know what I mean. Y'all been looking for from back in the day. We all coming, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be sharper than you, student yada. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, son.
Me and my queen we gonna coordinate. We gonna coordinate something real nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
What day is this?
You know
it's December 4th.
Yeah,
Saturday.
Yeah. Y'all bring y'all queens, man. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a night to remember. We gonna come in. We gonna, you know, we gonna raise some funds. We gonna have fun. We gonna dance. We gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? And it's just gonna be a good time. We tell them the Tubman City, Baltimore, wherever you may come from. You can come from over different parts of the world, but you want to get them tickets. So you gotta some kind of way you gotta put the link up here. We gotta put the flyer.
You can. They can Eventbrite a night for Baltimore, you know what I mean? So the whole thing is, it's a night for Baltimore, it's a night for us, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because we guys who support everybody, you know what I mean? Like we done supported so many campaigns, and we're gonna continue to do that, you know what I mean? But we having a night for us, where we're gonna celebrate the accomplishments that we did with the Bill 1317, with the campaign we doing, building out the space, you know what I mean? Getting the training school together, the selfless service and all of that, and getting other barbers involved, and you know what I mean? And the whole community component, you know what I mean? The entrepreneur courses and all of that kind of stuff, man. This is what we doing, man. But December 4th, a night for Baltimore. It's a nice little gala. The information is on my Instagram and on my Facebook as well, and on Reality Speaks Facebook as well. So we ask people to get involved, man. Come on out dressed up, you know what I mean? Like semi-formal, you know what I mean? Nice little look. Something that we want to do. You know, we a lot of us are much older, man. It's time to throw those threads on, come on out, fellowship for good cause, you know what I mean? So love, laughter, and a little bit of charity, baby. All right.
Give it up for my brother Fields. Fields one has been in the chat real heavy. You know what I'm saying? He donated $10. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate that.
Hey, Fields.
You know what I mean? Y'all keep that going. That's going right into the fundraiser. Like I said, we got big plans, y'all. You know what I'm saying? For what we doing. Like I said, this ain't just about no money grab. You know what I mean? Do we want to, you know what I mean, show people excellence and entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And how we make it. Yeah, of course. But at the same time, we bringing other people in and like, yo, y'all gonna see how this thing happens. You know what I'm saying? Where we got young people, we got barbers as young as 10 years old working with us. Brother Troy, we down there in Cherry Hill. We got little barbers 10 years. You know what I mean? 10, 11 years old down there cutting, right?
They was doing it. Yes,
you know what I mean? Down there getting it done. You know what I'm saying? So y'all want to see us take this thing to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, family support. You know what I mean? We ain't going will y'all on, you know what I'm saying, like a whole lot of other people do, you know what I'm saying, and take y'all 10 years down the road and school still ain't built. I know some of y'all don't like me saying that. You know what I mean? A little shot, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? No, but you know what I mean? But we build, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't take us millions of dollars to build no schools. When we started off Conscious Heads Barbering Boot Camp, man, we did that with like $100, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? About $100, and we kept building. We built small, and then we go larger. You feel what I'm saying? Then we go larger. But everybody ain't got to start off with no big university. You feel what I'm saying? You got to start off with a university, start small and be successful. And now we able to like bring young people through, and we able to create more jobs in our community because of it. Because we don't have to think like, no, we got to start with this big idea. No, we start, you know what I mean? Like something that's you know, that we can build off of and build from. You feel what I'm saying? Bless their family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Keep things coming. We got another donation for Sister Thompson. Give her a round of applause. She gave a $20 donation.
Thank you, Sister Thompson.
You know, coming in, all of that's going directly to the fundraiser. We appreciate that. So we keep it moving. So y'all keep it coming. So Sunyata, where you want to go to now? I know we can ready to close out shortly, but anything else we want to cover?
I think we covered everything, man. I think we had a great show. We had great participants, great scholars join us, man. And I appreciate the brothers, you know what I mean, for joining us. But you know, we encourage everybody, you know what I mean. Bonded by the Blade, me and Jabari had a feud for many years, you know what I mean. And a lot of people, it hurt a lot of people when we separated, you know what I mean. And we went our own ways, but we stayed alive, and we came back to our right minds, you know what I mean, and our more mature minds. And we came back together and built our relationship more stronger, you know what I mean, and better than ever. So we encourage people, you know what I mean, to go back out there, man. If you got that friend you haven't been talking to, that person in your family you haven't been building with, that you know we can kind of work this out, be the bigger person, you know what I mean? Be the bigger person, man, and take that time to do that, because it's healing in that, you know what I mean? It's healing in us coming together. It's healing in me and my brother coming together, bringing our families back together, working together again, you know what I mean? That's a lot of healing for myself. That's a lot of healing for him as well. So we encourage people to go back, man. You know what I mean? Love up on your people, man. You know what I mean? Put those little small petty bullshit beasts aside, man, and create that love again, man. All right, it's never too late.
Hey, hold on. One more thing though, before we get out of here, because I saw this. Did y'all see that clip that was going around with the brother Jay from the X Clan, and he was talking about Old Dirty Bastard. And did y'all see that?
No, sir.
So he was basically saying how when he would, you know what I mean, they was coming up, Old Dirty used to come to his school, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I mean, and he used to battle people, you know what I'm saying. But then back then he was calling himself, you know, a son, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Son.
Yeah, a son, you know what I mean? But he said he would come there and rip people apart. But he was dropping mad knowledge. He was dropping mad knowledge during that time, you know what I'm saying? Like he was like sharp, and he was killing people. He said so it was hard for him to get into it when he heard Old Dirty Bastard, the way he was delivering with the Wu-Tang. He was like, that was gimmicky. He said, because he was like, yo, like I know him as A-Son, the guy who was killing people in these rap
Yeah.
battles and dropping all this black knowledge and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He said, he said I could never get into his character as Old Dirty Bastard with Wu-Tang. You feel what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
thought that was like something that was real interesting.
Wow, I gotta listen to that.
Yeah. Go. It's actually go to Universal page. He got it on there. You know what I mean? Got the interview on there. You know what I mean? Check it and click it. As matter of fact, I put the link on here on my page so y'all can see it too. So we're gonna put the flyer. Drop that link on your page too with the flyer, with the ticket, so people can get the tickets also. But yeah, we're gonna actually do that, man. But yeah, man. But I thought that was very interesting. I just wanted to end off with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard somebody talk about Old Dirty Bastard in terms of just building and how intelligent he was in general. I can't remember who it was, but I remember hearing it was a video on YouTube, and I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about how intelligent Old Dirty Bastard was. So I understand what you mean when you say, like, you know, the whole gimmickry Old Dirty Bastard and, you know, him becoming, you know, the guy with the Wu-Tang Clan. Even I don't know if he's still on here, Brother Theo. We was talking about it this morning, how even like you can hear the rhyme patterns in the first Wu-Tang CD with Old Dirty Bastard.
Yeah,
it became more silly as time went on, you know.
Right. And even though, like I said, we love Old Dirty. I mean, you know, I love Old Dirty. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We love him.
Yeah,
you know
Dirt, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Black Baby Jesus.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but I guess, you know what I mean? You know, I wish I could have saw him as A-Son though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder how it was to see him as A-Son. You feel what I'm saying? In the midst of that. But give it my man, brother Fields gave another $11 donation. You know what I'm saying? That he added to, you know what I'm saying, with that. So we appreciate that. And even when we offline, family, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can keep it going, you know what I mean? We keep it all going. I see more of them actually coming in here as we even speaking. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
I need you to send me that link so I can post it as well.
No doubt. I'll put that up and I'll shit. We can share this video to your
we're gonna do it all. You know, we all working as one.
No doubt.
Bonded by the blade, right?
Bonded by the blade.
We more than just barbers. That's why we more than just the shop.
No doubt, brother Carlos. I appreciate your hard work, man. What the network that do you still was it Love
for Self Network?
Love for Self Network. You still do that?
Not the way we was doing it before. You know, we have variations of it on Facebook, but it's not the same how it was on Yahoo when, you know, we were you know, when we did the Love for Self National Conference, and, you know, we was trying to we was trying to be like you, my brother. We was trying to
you was killing. Nah, y'all was killing them. Everybody was talking about that everything, man. But I appreciate the work that you've been putting in the community, man. You know what I'm saying? And just to try to enlighten the community, man. We really appreciate you for even joining us here tonight. You know what I mean? Brother Sunyata was like, man, we gotta get Brother Carlos Muhammad on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We've been, you know, supposed to do this for a little while, but thanks for coming on, bro. I really appreciate that. Brother Troy, you know how we feel about you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You're a brother, man, that's leading by example. And you know what I'm saying, man, you know, we together with this, you know what I mean, all of us, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean, man, we just gonna keep moving, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Brother Sidney, you got anything else to say before we get up out of here?
Man, I want to end it off with one of the highest forms of saluting, and that's called a supreme salute. So all the guys right here to your temple, supreme salute. There we go.
No doubt.
We out, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
Family, y'all have a good one.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Right. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.